It's 2008, and I'm 5 years into being an entrepreneur, and it looks like the world is just crashing around me. The housing market has just plummeted, a recession is beginning, and the medical and biotech industries that my company works with are scaling back. Businesses are drying up everywhere, and my thought process is my production company is next on the chopping block. We needed to make some changes. We moved from North County, San Diego to Temecula in hopes of saving money and our business. We were really rocked by this economic shift. My partner in life and business and I were contemplating getting real jobs. He was thinking about selling cars, and I was wondering what it would be like to return to my Hollywood career. I was pregnant with my third child, and we didn't know that we had any other options. We were truly at a crossroads. My creative journey, that started way back, all the way back in second grade, with an American forefather. Well, actually, a creative American foremother, Betsy Ross. I really wanted to play her in the school play, but everyone told me that I shouldn't try. Teachers, even my parents. Turns out I couldn't read. I'm dyslexic, but I hadn't been diagnosed yet. But something else kicked in early, and that would be my tenacity. And when someone tells me that I can't do something, I say, watch me. So, against all odds, I taught myself how to read, or at least audition, and I got the part of Betsy Ross. And later that same year, there was a candy selling contest, and the person who sold the most candy in the whole school would win a 19-inch black and white TV. Yes, I just dated myself. But I really wanted that TV, so I set out to sell the most candy, and my enterprise self enlisted a little help, mostly my mom and my dad, and I did it. I sold the most candy in the whole school, and I won that black and white TV for my bedroom, and I still work in TV today. I'm gonna date myself one more time because as a kid growing up in the 70s and early 80s, it was very easy to go off course. But somehow I managed to stay on track because I wanted to be in the plays, and I managed to graduate high school. After high school, things did get a little rocky for me, but it was the arts, once again, that worked its magic and got me back into school. I went to the local community college, I got involved in the theater department, and somehow I ended up in a journalism class. And that's where I started to find my creative voice. I started writing for the paper, I worked at the magazine, and I was doing marketing and advertising for the college paper, selling and creating ads, all while being in the theater department, working backstage, and I managed to get my AA degree. And I won the top advertising selling award for the whole school ever, selling the most ads. And that's where I quickly learned that doing marketing and advertising made for a good income. My entrepreneurial journey, that began when I moved up to LA and I pursued my acting career. My then boyfriend, now partner in life and business, Scott Strand, and I decided that we were going to put on plays in Hollywood on Theater Row and bring all our unemployed actor friends to put on the shows in hopes of getting discovered. That's not exactly how it panned out, but for me, it kind of did, because that's where I realized I liked the producing and the directing and the writing so much more than the acting. And I wrote a screenplay that started to get some attention from one of the studios, and I thought, this is it. This is my big break. My joy was a little short-lived when I realized that we weren't in sync and their plan and my plan didn't exactly line up. Their plan was to pay me out for the script, shelve it because they had something similar, and not hire me. They told me they never hired anyone without a bachelor's degree. I didn't ever want to hear that again, so once again, the arts got me back into school, and I completed my bachelor's degree in radio, television, and film. I'm not the only one that the arts have worked for. The arts work their magic. Students with high arts involvement only have a 4% dropout rate. That is 5 times lower than those without any arts education. And 4 years of arts and music make SAT scores go 150 points higher than those with only a half a year of arts. And students engaged in the arts are more likely to graduate college than those without an arts education. After college, I went to work on shows like General Hospital and Friends. I worked at Universal Studios and with everyone's friend Mickey Mouse when I worked at the Disney Channel. My early years in Hollywood, I did a plethora of shows. I produced for Barbra Streisand, and I helped build the high-def control room at Staples Center, which is now Crypto.com. The company I worked with, they lost their contract, and I became part of that layoff. So I started doing some independent producing, and I ended up out at Amgen Pharmaceuticals in their marketing department, doing corporate video. I didn't even know what corporate video was at this point, but it changed everything for me. All of a sudden, I was making videos that mattered for people who had terrible diseases like cancer and rheumatoid arthritis. And the videos that I was making made a difference. I'll be honest, I got swayed away by some money, and it was about a year after working in corporate video that entertainment TV came a-calling again for this new hit thing called reality TV. And it came with a fat 6-figure paycheck. So I left and started working in reality TV. It was about 11 months of working on shows like Survivor and Big Brother and Joe Millionaire that I came home late again, missing dinner and bath time and bedtime with my then 3-year-old son. And I was venting to my husband about this win-lose culture, which today you would call it a toxic work environment. And I thought this is what I wanted, a hit TV career making lots of money. But as we were climbing into bed, Scott said to me sarcastically, "Well, what if you just quit your job and we sold the house and we opened our own production company?" Probably thinking I would just laugh it off, but I stopped, and it took me about 15 seconds, and I said yes. And that was it. We took the leap, and we put the house up for sale. I turned in my notice the next day. The house sold quickly, and a month later, we were moving to North County, San Diego, and beginning our entrepreneurial journey in video production and multimedia. The first 5 years, they were a lot of work. They say if you start a business and you can make it 5 years, then you really have something. Well, that's going to bring me back to that 2008 moment that I just started with. We didn't know that we had options. We were about to throw in the towel, but instead, we relied on what we knew, the arts. They had always worked for us in the past. The arts, they touch every industry. They help communities thrive. They entertain, they inform, they educate, they share history, they market, they advertise, they bring collaboration, they're inclusive. And most of all, they teach grit and determination. And that is what we needed. I know now that it was the grit and determination that got us through. In our new location, we went back to basics. We dove into our community. We joined the Temecula Valley Chamber of Commerce. I got involved in economic development, And the phone started ringing again, and we were back in business. I know now that it was the arts, and it always has been, whether it's what got me through school, long, exhausting days in the entertainment industry, or building a business. It was the arts that always got me back up, and always has. The arts and business leaders, they are the top 5 skills sought by business leaders. And 72% of business leaders say creativity equals high importance. And here's the formula. Arts and economics equal prosperity. Arts and culture not only enhance the quality of life, but they stimulate economic development. It was 2009 when we realized that there weren't enough arts in the school. So we decided we would bring the arts, mostly because we wanted to make sure our kids had access to the arts. So we set out to get our drama club idea through the school district, which we did. And then we showed up at one of those flag ceremonies at Isabel Barnett Elementary School in front of parents and teachers and all the students and pitched our after-school drama club idea in hopes that maybe 10 or 15 kids would show up. And we had 55 kids that enrolled. And that's when we knew it was a much bigger deal than we had ever imagined. We knew we had to get creative. We brought in our writing partner from our production company. We went over to Chaparral High School and we got the drama kids to volunteer for community service hours. And 8 weeks later, we had our first successful drama club, which led to other schools in the district and our second business and our first brick and mortar. It was 4 years later that all of a sudden we were launching a third business, but this time a 501c3 nonprofit. We started that nonprofit at our kitchen table, and today we have a thriving 7-figure business that employs 16 people. We impact youth, teens, adults, mainstream through special needs. We have activities and classes and workshops, a Title 17 day program. We have festivals, we have TV shows, radio shows, and podcasts. Did I mention it started at my kitchen table? And we just celebrated 10 years this year. The arts and business equal great partners. 89% of executives agree that creativity is a top skill in today's workforce. It sparks innovation, it inspires, and it engages employees. Arts and business work together to create that competitive edge. Businesses need thriving communities, and the arts contribute to the local economy. And 73% agree that they understand other cultures better. Today, the focus of our nonprofit is to create opportunities in visual performing, digital arts, and creative entrepreneurship. We are moving the arts across America in hopes of providing training and education to turn dreams into reality. We have launched over 100 careers as actors and writers and producers and directors. And in 21 years of being a creativepreneur, I have found this unique intersection between arts, economics, and workforce development. There's a great quote. It's by Steve Jobs. He says that you can't connect the dots by looking forward. You have to look back and trust that those dots will somehow connect in the future. My dots, they create a clear pathway to where I am today, literally and figuratively. I know today it is thanks to the arts. And I know exactly why I am where I am. And I am grateful to be able to share my story in front of my family and my community and be able to thank being creative and the arts, because I truly believe that the arts impact life and business. And when you connect with the arts, you'll find passion. And when you have passion, it will lead to a purpose. So I encourage all of you to connect with the arts and find your passion so that your dots can lead from passion to purpose to profits as they have for me. Thank you.